Hi, it's Chris from Intentional. I hope everyone watching this, you're coping okay in these very, very challenging times. Over the last few weeks, we've obviously shared a few updates in around advertising during coronavirus. We understand that that's just one part of what you as marketers and founders are having a look at. And as we've been sharing insights, there's obviously been two key themes. The first is the cheaper CPMs available and the contextualization required for top of funnel. But we've also been sharing and talking a lot about what's happening at the bottom of the funnel, that decision tier, and particularly conversion rates potentially on the slide. So we thought when we had to bring in a guest to have a conversation to add some value, that we could look no further than Raoul from Conversionry, a CRO agency. And so Raoul, thank you for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Chris. This is great.
So I might just give a quick intro to yourself, and then we'll run through straight into maybe some of the key insights that you were seeing, particularly around for e-commerce and retail brands in terms of how to take advantage of the trends that are happening right now. And then we'll finish off talking about an incredible initiative you've kickstarted called COVID Crap. So I might leave that to the end, let the intrigue run through. So
yeah, awesome.
Conversionry, and Raoul, yourself, 10 plus years in digital. You launched conversion rate optimization and experimentation agency Conversionry in 2015. E-commerce focus, and we're lucky enough to work with you on a client who sell both here in Australia, and you also work with global brands. What really attracted us to your business and why we freely recommend you to our clients is because of your approach. So it's very evidence-based, you're platform agnostic, so you're not just trying to push one tool the whole time. But also this kind of view, I guess, and I might get you to talk to it, is that in CRO, always be testing, or I guess the translation can be testing for testing's sake. And what I loved about your approach and the way you look at it is to do it evidence-based. Yes, to always be running a test, but to be thinking about what that test is, talking with consumers, understanding what next step to make. So maybe just to kick off, tell us a little bit more about your evidence-based approach and always be testing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we've been running since about 2015. For me, the reason that I started the company was a bit different times to now. I do want to acknowledge that we're in a very tough time at the moment with the environment, and certainly tough for a lot of people out there. But back then, when we started out, there was a huge need for conversion rates. I myself struggled with conversion rates, client side, agency side, and we had an agency charge us at client side about $500,000, and we only saw about $10,000 in return. So that's what kind of inspired me to start Conversionry. And everything we do is evidence-based. It has to produce a return for our clients. Otherwise, we actually get demotivated and it doesn't excite us anymore. So we are a conversion optimization and experimentation agency. And we really partner with clients with the pure aim of how can we accelerate your conversion rates and if you're on e-commerce, your average order value as well, to give you that revenue growth. And so how we do that is it's a 4-step process. We go through a monthly cycle of measure, analyze, design, and testing. What's cool about that is we just don't come up with tests out of nowhere. We have a lot of clients coming to us saying their tests are failing. Help us to get better. So our approach is very much let's first understand the customer. I really believe that CRO is about solving problems and solving customer problems. If you're solving customer problems, then you're winning. So really it's really about understanding the customer. What are those pain points? What are those drop-offs? Why are they happening? And then coming up with test ideas that are positioned to win.
That's awesome. No, that's absolutely what attracted us to you and to the work we've been able to see you do on one of our e-commerce clients in particular. Is I think we always talk about with our clients, garbage in, garbage out, gold in, gold out. So if the idea of the test isn't strong at the starting point, and then I guess the next measure what matters. So if you're making tests and changes and not measuring the right things, then that clearly. So I mean, as you spoke about, we're definitely in just unprecedented times, and there's so much change, and particularly I think maybe e-commerce, and particularly maybe non-essentials. It's the category that's been bandied around. Clients in those sort of what may be considered non-essential have initially, I guess, had to look and pivot and see what else they can do. But from a CRO point of view, maybe just in a couple of minutes, like what's what has changed? What have you seen? What's kind of happened since COVID-19 really struck?
Yeah, you're right, Chris. We are in unprecedented times, and we're seeing like stimulus packages that we've never ever seen before. There's no rule book, for what's happening at the moment. So I really feel for a lot of businesses out there personally, because as a business owner yourself as well, I mean, we've all been through tough times, and I think with workforces being stood down, with people reducing hours, with so much, when the future kind of looks bleak, I think it's really hard. But saying that though, what we're really seeing in the industry, and what I'm seeing is we've had to really see how can we just add immense value to our clients, and even people reaching out to us, how can we add value to them as well? And that's kind of based on what I'm seeing is everyone, and everyone knows this, everyone is heading online. There's never been more customers online than ever before. You're seeing that as well, being a paid media agency. There's never been more eyeballs on social media and websites right now. So I think that right now, companies, retailers, B2B businesses, they need to be focusing on how can you improve your conversion rates? How can you convert more people on your website, on your app, on your advertising? That's really what I'm seeing at the moment. But what I'm also seeing is what used to work before from a customer psychology, behavioral psychology, conversion tactics. They aren't really working now because it's a totally different customer. We've got a new customer mindset. We're seeing fear, we're seeing panic, we're seeing hoarding, we're seeing people who only want to spend on certain things. And I know you got a question about that as well, which we'll get to. And we're also seeing when people do head to our client sites, all our clients are in retail and e-commerce. We specialize in e-commerce. And what we're seeing is there's a huge this fear and doubt over, is this package going to get to me? Shipping times, delivery times, things like how safe is this? Is your shipping and handling? And there's this fear of even getting the virus through the packages, right? So that's kind of some of the stuff that we're kind of seeing on site, and in a way it's kind of leveled the playing field for a lot of competitors, because customers are just mainly concerned about a lot of these things. At the same time, though, it's important to differentiate. So I see a lot of retailers going out there with massive sales, so 50% off, 60% off, which is fine. I think that's working to an extent. Only a few are actually acknowledging where the customer is at and speaking to them where they're at right now. At the end of the day, they're at home, they're in isolation, they have all these fears that we talked about. Just going with, hey, 50% off, or hey, 20% off. I mean, that's fine, but I would say it's probably underselling yourself as a brand if you're doing just that. I know a few have sent out, like, say, an email saying, hey, our COVID-19 response, but that's not enough. It's got to be an ongoing conversation. So we're talking email marketing as soon as you hit their inbox, even saying something like, hey, stuck at home, explore our office. Even in your email content, empathize with the customer. On the website, make sure that you're actually acknowledging what's going on, and customers, relate to that.
Yeah, I think we've spoken a lot about that from our awareness advertising, that you need to contextualize it. And actually in recent weeks, we've found ourselves maybe giving some on-site advice, which I'd love to just check right now. Is it the right on-site advice? When you're talking about that new customer mindset, I guess what we've seen is there's so much uncertainty. So if brands can bring clarity. So I guess maybe just talk to for a couple of minutes around messages. Sure. Like, a banner on the site, COVID-19 response, delivery times, and where you should contextualize that message. Should that be on home pages, product pages? Should it be across the site? Should it be on pop-ups? Like, I guess all of these things ordinarily might take away from the sale. You don't want too many messages, but keen right now, if you do an audit of a site and it had nothing, what are kind of the 80-20 things you'd be saying to do to be contextually relevant right now?
Yeah, for sure, Chris. Look, I do want to clarify, though, that what we're talking about isn't taking advantage of the crisis for marketing, because I can imagine a few trolls might kind of hear this and kind of say, oh, but you can't mention it in your marketing. No, I'm not saying that. There are some nasty brands out there I've seen who are like saying, hey, our air purifiers are proven to beat coronavirus. No, that's nasty marketing, right? That's not true. You have no proof of that. They haven't even come up with a vaccine. But what I'm saying is empathy. People want to know that you understand their situation. And so have a conversation with the customer. And so to your question on the website, so I was speaking to a client yesterday as part of our COVID crap campaign where we're giving our time, and we'll chat about that later. I was telling him, we're going over his website. It looks like it's business as usual. I know you're operating business as usual. I know you got some great deals, but you probably want to write on your front banner, just add some empathy and say that, we're here for you, as opposed to just going, shop our offers, view our products. What's working really well is like a welcome bar or a smart bar, whatever you might call it, right at the top of your website. A lot of retailers, a lot of companies are doing that, saying our COVID-19 response. I would probably make it really clear. Some people are skimming past it if it says, if it's a bit vague, like something, it has to have COVID-19 in it. I think it's got to have the word or coronavirus. And you can go our COVID-19 response or our COVID-19 service updates, because people want to know whether you are delivering. As a brand, you're still operating. They can still buy from you, and they take out their credit card and put that in. They're going to get that package. So that's kind of from a homepage point of view. And there are many other things that you can do if you're on e-commerce, from a category level, at a product level, even at the checkout level.
That's really good insight. I mean, another thing we've been talking about is that you can't eat a percentage, you can eat revenue. So if in advertising land, obviously the main metric for e-commerce brands is to look at return on ad spend, and what we were maybe used to 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, that those numbers, we've got to kind of probably pull ourselves back into this new normal, particularly in this reactionary phase at the moment. And so we're trying to work with our clients, and as we're getting new clients asking questions, is to look at what is that profitability level. I'm interested to know, have conversion rates, and maybe this is unique to different industries or verticals, but are conversion rates down? Are the sales picking them up? Or like overall, if I'm a client sitting here, like what should I kind of be expecting at the moment to see with my conversion rates? What are they doing?
Yeah, that's such a good question, because we usually have benchmarks that we keep ourselves accountable to with our clients, that we measure year on year conversion rates, average order value, and usually we want to be in the experimentation that we're doing. We want to be seeing higher increases, and we usually do. So right now, like I said, totally new playing field. Nothing is predictable. So we've got to have a brand new baseline. To answer your question, some industries, so our clients, some industries have gone down with conversion rates and revenue as a result. Some actually just soared. You and some of the audience might know which ones are soaring. It's pretty obvious. We can chat about those. But yeah, like with our clients, we're seeing categories like any home activities really soaring. Board games, puzzles, anything to do with the family. Parents are just struggling to, with their kids. I mean, you got a couple of kids, so you get it. And they just need to keep them occupied, right? So right now is a great opportunity if anyone's in that category. Luxury is down in some categories, and I think you've seen that too, Chris. Yeah, but they are booming in some as well. So for example, skincare, personal care, sleep care. Because one of the other things to the new customer mindset is that they want to feel healthy. They're focusing on their health, their skin, their face, because of, the government instructions. Because of that, people are spending hundreds of dollars on skincare and personal care. Sleep care as well. We've got a luxury sleep care client, which helps with better sleep, because good sleep leads to good immunity. And, so that's kind of like working for them. Gaming is soaring. Alcohol, anything to do with hygiene, everyone knows that. Medical, pharma, nutrition. People are moving away from the really expensive products though, which is why you still see kombucha on the shelf. I think someone posted a photo the other day like, oh, anyone wants kombucha? Because like, and then next to it, all the cheap products are gone. Because people are just like, okay, what can I save money on now? If you're in a very niche category, you're going to suffer a lot and I think you really need some clever marketing, empathy, push sales. Now's not the time to feel like you need to protect your brand. You need to stay afloat. So combine empathy with a sale offer.
Yeah, so I
So
think
that's kind of what we're seeing.
you gave two great examples in there around like the board games and the sleep-based clients. I think in terms of what we've spoken around about contextualizing, I guess for the board game client, it's not good enough to just, cool, we're board games, you're a family. Like it's about acknowledging the situation that the family might be in, right? So, looking for keeping the kids entertained. And I love that pivot from the sleepwear brand to focus heavily. Maybe immunity was already a key benefit, but to focus a lot on it. So, I mean, this is, and I hope people watching can hear in terms of this is what attracted us to the way Raoul and Conversionry think is so far. We've spoken all kind of brand strategy, messaging, and communications, right? Maybe not what people expect from a conversion rate optimization chat. I mean, maybe just to give a moment to, is there anything, I guess, is there an 80-20? Is there a one thing technically that right now you would be telling brands that if you don't have, you've got to have, like, is there something at checkout? Is there something, technically that you would just absolutely say is maybe you already needed to have it. Maybe it's the same thing now, but I know I'm putting you on the spot there. But is there one thing that comes to mind? If it's out, we know I've got to contextualize. I've done that, and I'm on sale, but my conversion rates still aren't coming through. Is there something technically you would check?
There are actually. I'm just actually putting up an email where I summarize what for another e-commerce client of ours, and this can apply to other businesses as well. The main thing right now is, from a CRO point of view, small tests and small optimizations can lead to a bigger effect. But right now, I really care about helping businesses stay afloat. And so the big rocks is what people need to focus on. A few things I've noted here is from a overall marketing point of view, run a sale immediately if you can. If you are in a position to offer a discount, combine that with empathy, and you got a great offer. And you may say, oh, everyone's doing it. Well, that's the thing. The whole world is in this boat. And so if 90% of companies where your customers are going to are offering discounts and sales, which they are, then you need to too. Or if you don't want to do that, then put out a ridiculous offer, put out bundles, put out other offers but you need to have an offer for some of your key categories. And so, I would step up your email marketing, number 2. So one client of ours went from 1 email a week to 3 emails a week, and that had a incredible effect on their sales. And that's because email conversion rates are one of the highest amongst all your channels. So yeah, I'd do that. Make sure you have a nice big sale banner in your email if you're promoting a sale, or make sure your offer is super clear in your subject line. Have that empathy in there. Even something small like stuck at home, pamper yourself. And that's going to help people go, oh yeah, they really understand where I'm coming from. So you want to do that at least 3 a week. If you can do more, great. Some retailers do 10, 20 a week, which is awesome. Again, the best balance for your unsubscribe rates and things. Free shipping. Now is the time to not hold on to your free shipping threshold. If you can, just get rid of it and just go free shipping.
Right.
For one of our clients, it was a big wake-up call because we showed him, look, all of your competitors have gone to free shipping now. You're the only one who's got a threshold, and that's hurting you. And he was like, oh, wow, okay, we need to change this straight away. And also, I would say, if you want to make that free shipping more powerful, especially if you haven't offered it before, put a time frame on it. So free shipping for 2 weeks only, right? And that brings an urgency to the sale. Yeah, make sure you blow that up. It's got to be on the homepage, on your first banner. It's got to be on your email subject line. It's got to be on your email banner. Blow that up everywhere. Make sure you have confidence blocks all over your site on every single page. If you don't know what a confidence block is, it's like a row of icons that kind of demonstrate your key benefits, why people should buy from you. Things like free returns, free shipping, pop that all in there. Number 4, promote products. Customers at the moment, people, they are at home, they're stuck in isolation. They're like, what we're seeing is they want a lot of comfort now. They're having a lot of time to think about, like, oh, maybe we should spruce up our lounge or our bedroom or man, we got someone to do our heating, and he's like, they gotten really busy. So I think if you got those kind of products, push products like to do with home comfort and indoors, stuff for home activities. Even if you were to position your products that can be more comfort related, I think that'll really work.
Just to pick up maybe on that, Raoul, is so what you're saying there is, because I think we're saying something similar, is on your website, be explicit. So mention COVID-19, mention coronavirus, make it really clear. In your communications, go full empathy and think about what that, stuck at home, feeling run down, whatever those empathetic headlines are, and maybe in those not necessarily talking about COVID-19 and the virus anymore. So is that right? Like communications go empathy, and on website still have empathy, but obviously make it really, really clear with what the impact during COVID-19 and coronavirus is to shipping and delivery and all of those things as well.
Absolutely. And I just got one more from an optimization and experimentation point of view, right? Yeah. So right now people are there's so much lack of stock in these categories, right? Elsewhere, that they don't care so much about friction these days. So for example, we actually ran an A/B test for a client where we skipped the shopping cart completely, took them to the second step of the checkout, and that was a risk, right? We didn't know, because usually some customers, they want to see what's in the shopping cart, and if they take them to the checkout straight away. And so that actually won big time. And again, because people, they're just like, oh, I want this now, there's stock, so get me to it really quickly. So using evidence-based and insight-based experiments like that, which you definitely want to test, could really pay off.
That's amazing. No, they're fantastic. What we might do is just pop some of those back down in the show notes as well. I thought what I might do is understand you've got a lot on. I might just jump back to these slides real quickly just to talk about one initiative that, I mean, if anyone follows you on LinkedIn, they can't miss it. It's there front and center all the time. But maybe do you want to talk to us about, let me just move them away. What's this COVID crap? What's going on here?
Yeah, sure. So this is an initiative to help people, right? To help businesses. I'm really blown away by how far it's grown. But what it is, it stands for COVID-19 Conversion Rate Aid Package. And what that is basically it's CRO practitioners, specialists, experts, and growth marketing experts offering their time, 1 hour in your week or whatever time that they can offer to struggling businesses to help them increase their conversion rates at the moment. Because right now it's so important with businesses closing down by the minute and everyone heading online. It's really important. The idea came to me about the acronym COVID crap in the shower, actually, but
so you're going to say something else there. I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah.
Or toilet paper.
No. Yeah, not that bad. But what really inspired me was one small sports consulting firm closed down in our center, and they suddenly have no one to sell to. All the sports clubs are closed and no one to service. That really broke my heart. And one of our very old ex-clients actually texted me saying that, look, they're no longer in their clinic anymore because they can't operate and they're focusing on their website. And I was like, well, what can you do from your website? Well, they said they're just selling vouchers for when things get better. And I'm like, wow, that's so heartbreaking. Like, what can I do as a CRO person? I felt a bit helpless, but then I thought, well, maybe I can offer my time to some of these guys, right? And maybe help them just nip it in the butt and try and leverage some more conversions, some more leads, some more sales. Yeah, and so I kind of shared that, and it kind of took off. We got CRO experts and specialists from all over the world, from the US, from the UK, from the Netherlands, from Spain, from Brazil, Australia, New Zealand. It's crazy. I just want to say, if anyone's listening, if you're a CRO person or growth marketer out there, head to covidcrap.org. Would love your help. Your help is much needed because some of our guys are getting booked out at the moment. Yeah, we've got over, I don't know how many now, but tons of people reaching out and booking time. yeah, and it's just been, it's been really awesome how the community has gotten together. We may release it to other verticals as well, not just CRO. So look out for that.
Yeah, sure. I feel a tap on the shoulder might be coming up. What I was going to say there is why you generally do work e-commerce. I think obviously this is impacting not just e-commerce at the moment. So it might not be yourself, but if you are outside of that field, please still feel free to jump in, and there'll be someone in CRO in that community that can definitely help you. I mean, practically,
absolutely.
It's 1 hour session with a practitioner and a list of actions to take away that you can go involved, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're in need of support, this is absolutely free. There's no sales pitch. There's no hidden agenda. There's no invoice going to show up in your inbox, right? This is absolutely free, and some of this advice is actually worth thousands of dollars. With some of certainly with us and with myself, and certainly with some of my other colleagues who are in this, and yeah, because leveraging every bit of traffic that's coming on your site and trying to convert that is so important right now. This could really turn around your business, or someone just tag them in this video, and then we'll just shoot. Chris has got the link there, covidcrap.org, and or reach out to Chris or myself, and happy to connect you with someone to help out.
And we'll share obviously tag you in this wherever we place it, but share Raoul's and Conversionry's detail as well. Hey, thank you so much for jumping on this. It's I know it's going to add a lot of value to people watching this that have been hearing what we've been talking about, but even if you haven't, and this is the first one you're tuning into, I think understanding that the market has changed, but rather than just sitting there wondering and thinking, well, it's changed, what do I do? I think those really specific actions, and absolutely we echo whatever you can do at that decision tier, bottom of the funnel, to just show empathy at this time. And I think that, some amazing tips there. I love the idea of the time-bound free shipping. I love the contextualization of the message. And I think that idea around how to get creative around sales is something that maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe we reach back out and just hear again, see what you've been seeing. Because I think right now a flat sale's okay. But once everyone's just been on a 20% off, 30% off, we don't want to keep going deeper and deeper. So how do we get a bit creative with that? I know you touched on lightly a few of them, but maybe we'll spend a good chunk of time in a few weeks going a bit deeper on that. So Raoul, I think we'll leave it here for today, but thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Pleasure, Chris. I think that's great what you're doing, happy to be part of. I think this is great value for customers, like you're saying. And, it's kind of also what the COVID crap campaign is all about, because, a few people have been asking me, why COVID crap? For me, it's not just the acronym, but it's the effect of COVID-19 is hard on businesses, but it's not all powerful and mighty. It is crap, and we can kind of beat it together if we come together. So I love what you're doing, and happy to jump on and sharing more insights.
Wonderful.
Well, thanks for having me, mate.
And we'll definitely share links to COVID crap. Definitely sign up if you're a practitioner yourself and you want to help out, or like I said, you're not sure what you can do. Here's a great place. And if you're any brand, I can't think of a single brand that shouldn't be looking at their conversion rates right now. So you may not get to work with Raoul through it, but if you want to talk with him directly, we'll share his links.
Hi, I'm Adam Seguido. Thanks for watching this video. Do you feel that if your advertising stayed the way it is, that your best days are ahead? Are you going to just watch as the market keeps eating into your margins without putting up a fight? If you're here to learn, click on that subscribe button to get more video content from the team. But if it's time to take action, click on the link in the description box below and get in touch with the team at Intentional. We're here to help you convert potential.